Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting now with Bob Suver. Bob, you are chairman of the demand committee for the Ohio Soybean Council. Before we talk about that, tell us a little bit about your farming operation.
I farm west of Springfield, Clark County, where we just got designated a drought area, so things have went everywhere this year. But I grow corn and soybeans on a rotation basis, and I farm by myself. I've worked other jobs during my career, but I've always farmed, and that's where I'm at.
Okay. Now, you've been involved with the organization for a number of years, correct?
Yeah, I actually have been with it as far as actually on the checkoff board a couple of years, and but I've been very fortunate to get really into the demand, the marketing piece, and went to some international markets we have, and especially with the China tariffs and all that. It's been a very interesting time.
Well, tell us a little bit about a mission that you just got back from recently.
Right, about a week or so ago, we came back from what you'd call a reverse crop tour. And this was supported by U.S. Council of Soybean Exports. But we took 6 states over there because of their swine fever. They couldn't come to us, Southeast Asia. And we took 6 states over there to report on our crop. They're very, very interested because of the year we've had. And we reported on that. We had Jeff Wilson with the Pro Farmer Crop Tour. It's very much involved in that. He came along and gave an overview of the whole nation. We had a lot of detailed information from our fields all over the nation and from those states. And we started out with a group of about 125 buyers in Shanghai and talked to them about that. And then we met with companies. We have our exports to China, 35% of them go to government enterprise companies, 35% go to private Chinese companies, and 30% go to U.S. companies that are positioned in China. And while we're not doing a lot of business in China, it's important to keep our relationships up. Relationships, and this was confirmed by the meeting we had with the U.S. ambassador to China, relationships are the most important thing to Chinese and to Asians. And so you need to keep that up even if you're not where you want to be, just to maintain those and grow new ones so you're in a position when this thing breaks to be able to take advantage of it.
Now, people in that part of the world, in Southeast Asia, the one thing I know about them is that they prefer quality, quality, quality.
And that's what we try to differentiate U.S. soy versus South American soy. The big thing we're talking about now is the value of our amino acids versus South American. We have much better amino acids or nutritional value in our soybeans versus South American. And we can show that a processor that we were talking to can make $50 more profit per ton that they process just by using U.S. soy versus South American. And while you could see a stark difference between that privately owned Chinese company that we talked to, and they were both significant crushers in China. They were the second largest crusher in China. The first was the government owned, and you could tell the difference in their attitude. One was toting the company line with the government, and the private Chinese wanted to buy more, and they were buying. They've been buying U.S. soy all along, but the government threatens them. If you bring those into the country, we can't guarantee your shipments will be safe. We can't guarantee that that they won't be rejected, and so they bring them in, crush them, and then ship them right back out to other Asian countries. But they want to buy more, and the government-owned enterprise says we're bought up till November. You've got a 2-month window, and you got to get rid of the tariffs, and we'll buy from you. If you don't, we won't, and we're going to be right back with Brazil when their new crop comes along. So we're facing that, but we're trying to keep our relationships up and talk about why ours is better, and we get a lot of acknowledgement from those Asian countries.
Now, do you, or the organization, the Ohio Soy Council, do you work with government at all as far as trying to get into other markets?
Yes, we work with USDA and their attaches in those countries. In May, I was in Bangkok for a global trade exchange. It's probably the best one I've ever been to because we laid the case out to 250 buyers from all the Southeast Asian countries trying to make up something for China. China is so big it's hard to make it up, but we are making great inroads. And we had USDA officials participate in that, and we had India and Pakistan. If we can break into India in a greater way, that'll be another big threshold like China was. But it took decades to take China to where we took it. And just a fell swoop, we lose it for a time, but we're confident we're going to get it back.
So, in essence, if that comes to pass, when we're talking soy, it appears that the amount of soy that would be exported from the U.S. to not only China but possibly India, there's going to be a greater export market that Ohio's going to be playing a part of. Just because you've had to go out and do your job with the demand committee to find more demand.
And putting aside the tariff and those trade interruptions, we have aquaculture. They say over the next 8 or 9 years, the demand will drive soybeans another 800 to 900 million bushel and worldwide demand. And so we're always looking for new places, and this swine fever has a great opportunity for pork. They're buying U.S. pork even when they have to pay a 62% tariff on that U.S. pork. And so if we can drop that tariff, we can feed the pork here. China has 4 times the number of hogs that the U.S. does. They're the largest hog producer in the world, and they've lost half their hogs to swine fever in a very short time, a year and a half. So it's a very threatening thing, and that's why we couldn't have them come over here because we don't want it over here, and it's already went to Germany. So it's a bad thing.
It seems that as you talk, there's an awful lot of things that can come out of the cupboard, so to speak, that could stall anything that you're trying to do, and it's just the patience that you have to develop that market that's going to be with us for a long time. Right.
It's the patience. You've got any kind of political event, Hong Kong, if something goes wrong there, that could set things back. This swine fever could be an opportunity for our U.S. pork, but you just have to, as you said, be patient and be willing to do what you can with what you have. We're pushing all the other markets as much as we can. I was over there a year or so before with a food grade promotion, and Ohio has a lot of food grade processors, and we're always pushing that. We participated in that about a year or so ago. But the commodity soybeans, we're always looking for new markets and expand the ones we have with new information to them, and work hand in hand with the processors with nutrition.
Well, I'm sure that soybean farmers, after listening to you, can pat you on the back for a lot of hard work that you've done over the years, and keep it up.
To give some hope from the ambassador and others, we felt there's a window from their National Day, which is the celebration they have of their revolution. It's the 70th year. From that till middle of December, there's a great window the ambassador feels, and there's another one until February. So we're hopeful for some breakthroughs.
Now, folks would like to get a little bit more information. What's the best way for them to go about doing that?
Well, just to contact the Ohio Soybean Council. We have great people there. Katie Bowers, our trade person. I work hand in hand with all the staff there, and just contact them, Ohio Soybean Council.
Okay, Bob Suber has been our guest, the chair of the demand committee for the Ohio Soybean Council. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And stay with us, back with more right after this.
I'm Terry McClure, a fifth-generation soybean farmer. Farming can be tough, but we have the Ohio Soybean Council investing farmers' dollars to find new uses for soybeans. Their research helps develop better beans for livestock, poultry, and for people. It also helps create new products like soy-based cleaning supplies and paint cartridges, plus cleaner-burning soy biodiesel. Soybeans are Ohio's #1 agricultural export. To learn more, visit soyohio.org.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
Welcome to the 30-second tour of your local Poet plant. Local producers sell us tons of their grain. We grind it, mix it with water and special enzymes. The result is fermented, distilled, and dehydrated until it's 200 proof alcohol. Corn oil is extracted, and protein and nutrients are condensed, dried, and turned into animal feed, bringing our tour to an end with high-protein feed and cleaner-burning high-octane fuel. Visit poet.com to learn more.
United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country. Today, Big Dan Wilson alongside of Christy Eckstein. And Christy is the Executive Director of the Ohio Grape Industries Committee. Let's make sure I got that straight, right?
You did. You got it correct.
Well, it's really exciting as part of the Ohio Department of Agriculture and in your involvement with Ohio Proud. I know personally, having attended Vintage Ohio and various other events that you guys are involved in, this industry is absolutely exploding.
It is. We have 324 licensed wine manufacturers in the state with at least 24 wine license applications pending with the Division of Liquor Control, so there's really no slowing down in sight.
Let's talk a little bit about agriculture's involvement and what our farmers are doing to produce such quality product that they do here in the state of Ohio.
Well, the Ohio wineries account for $1.34 billion annually to the state's economic impact with more than 8,000 full-time jobs. And we have about 100 vineyards who are supplying grapes for our many wineries across the state. And the unique thing about Ohio is we're able to grow European vinifera varieties, hybrid varieties, and the heritage varieties. So there's something for everyone out there.
You know, the cool thing is, like you mentioned, is not only the economic impact, but the reciprocal effect that it has. Because an industry like this growing the way it does, you have a lot of wineries that are maybe estate wineries where they also provide food. They grow the grapes, they process the grapes, they have to transport that product all over the state. So having an industry like this involved in agriculture that's growing as fast as it has been, it really does have a serious impact when it comes to dollars and cents in the communities in which they're grown.
For sure. We have 1.3 million visitors who visit our Ohio wineries annually. It's a huge tourism attraction for the areas where those wineries are located, and it's great for all of the businesses. The more wineries and craft breweries there are in an area, that generates people to come and visit and check it all out. Each one of them offers very unique experiences, from food, entertainment, just all types of venues. You can have an urban winery, you have a rural winery, just like you said, an estate farm winery where they're growing the grapes. And it is a 365-day-a-year job for our wineries. They are very, very labor intensive, but the fruits of our labor are shown in the awards that our wineries continue to receive.
Well, of course, if you know the history of Ohio, of course, along the Ohio River there, just east of Cincinnati, was one of the prime locations for growing grapes probably 200 years ago. And then, of course, Ashtabula area, the Leeway side counties of Ohio, like Geauga County, then became a stronger impacted area of growing grapes. But basically, the types of grapes and the soils that we have here in Ohio, they're growing it all over the state.
Yes, they are. You are within a winery 30 minutes anywhere you are in the state of Ohio. We, again, cross the state from north to west to south to east along the Lake Erie on both sides and the Ohio River. And we grow very different grapes in each of those areas. But again, something for everyone's taste is what the wineries are offering.
It's not only the diversity, but we're talking about award-winning grapes too, aren't we?
Correct. Ohio is known for their world-class Rieslings, Pinot Grigios, Chardonnays, our ice wine.
Ice wine.
Yes, ice wine, usually made from the Vidal Blanc wine grape, but the grapes actually have to freeze on the vine. And it's very labor intensive, but again, it's a sweet dessert style wine that's enjoyed by everyone.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we talked about earlier with Ohio Proud is the involvement that you get to do with these producers and getting their product known to the general public, whether they're growing it, whether they're blending it, whether it's an estate winery, all the different factors that are involved. Your involvement with them is what helps them take it to the next level.
Right. We actually, our product that we have to market and sell through the grape industries is the wineries. The wineries then have the final product, both in the tourism product and the offerings, the experience that they offer, and then also the wine, obviously, that they're offering as well. So it's a very diverse industry, but an industry that works very closely together because we're still somewhat small in the scheme of things, but very non-traditional agriculture as well.
So if someone's thinking about maybe starting a vineyard, if you will, and maybe thinking about developing a product that they can then take it to the next level and sell, I know you guys help them in that kind of training process. Let's talk about that. Even helping them deciding what types of grapes are good for their soil, right?
We do. We fund a lot of research and extension work through The Ohio State University and the Agricultural Research and Development Center, where we have research stations in Kingsville, Piketon, and Worcester to kind of cross-section the state to look at new varieties, what types of varieties are going to grow well in the types of climate and soil that are in that particular vineyard locations, land profile, I guess. And then we also provide a lot of marketing resources. So we have cooperative advertising for our wineries. We have a website. We have an annual magazine, our Ohio Wine Guide, a lot of events and festivals where we feature the Ohio wines as well, just like the Ohio State Fair. And today here at the Farm Science Review, we actually have sparkling grape juice for people to kind of partake in what Ohio grapes are able to produce.
I'll tell you personally, I love picking up that wine guide and finding different locations, but you have to be excited because that wine guide is changing all the time, isn't it?
It does. It's a one-year printing, but online it evolves, and we add new wineries every month to that listing, and consumers use that to kind of plan their next trip across Ohio and which winery they want to visit next.
So let's go to that website. What is that location that they can go to get an update on that and any other information they might want?
They can go to findohiowines.com. So they can find the winery. They can find it by variety. If they're particularly interested in a particular variety like Cabernet or Chardonnay, they can sort which wineries are making those types of wines. They can also look regionally, and they can just look close to where they're located.
Christy Eckstein has been our guest from the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Christy, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having us.
And we'll be back with more in Ohio Country today, right after this.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Are you looking to buy or sell farmland? Then work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Founded in 1975, Ron Spencer specializes in farmland, agricultural, and commercial real estate. Check them out on the web with 3 locations to serve you. Ron Spencer Real Estate at rsre.com. That's rsre.com.
Tough years call for tough equipment, and that's just what you'll get with Great Plains. Tough, no matter what the soil type, structure, or seed bed, your friends at Apple Farm Service has a Great Plains tool to give you the best seed bed. Introducing Velocity, the new hybrid tillage machine. Bury more residue than a vertical tillage machine with the quickness of a speed disc. With sizes from 23 feet to 36 feet, stop by your local Apple Farm Service to learn what Great Plains solutions we offer.
Sinus problems and headaches? Have a sneaking suspicion there's mold lurking about? With over 20 years in business, you can trust the professionals at EarthSafe Ozone. They will test, inspect, and treat your home or office, eliminating mold, mildew, fungus, and bacteria. It's time to put an end to pesky mold. Call 419-227-0303 to schedule your mold spore test today.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting with Scott Metzger, the president of the Ohio Soybean Association. Scott, tell us a little bit about your operation, where it's at, and what it's all about.
So we farm south central Ohio in between Chillicothe and Circleville. We raise soybeans, corn, wheat, and malt and barley.
Very good. That keeps you busy, I think.
It does keep us busy. Yes, it does.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Soybean Association this year. I know that it's an exciting time to be involved with what's going on, but at the same time, there are challenges that the farmer has to face.
Yeah. This has been an interesting year all the way around, from the late weather, or from all the rain we had in the spring with all the late plantings. It's been a challenging year. Also on the legislative side, the issues that we've had with water quality in Ohio, and the issues that we've had with that's always on the forefront of what we're talking about.
At the same time, there have been some accomplishments with folks wanting to work together, and I think there's a sense of wanting to try to solve the problems, and it might be, a few years to do that, but maybe we're on our way.
Yeah, I think we are. We've got the OH Ohio Water Quality Initiative that is in place, and like you said, everybody sees that we need to work together to make this problem better, and everyone knows that we're part of the problem, but also want to be part of the solution as well.
Do farmers that you talk with that are members, do they see what the overall organization is doing, how things have improved over the years, where we're accomplishing so much more, and we've got so many more products that have been developed, and do those members understand that it's because of them that's where the organization is today?
Right. Your organization is only as strong as your membership, and as long as you're doing stuff to help promote agriculture and make the bottom line, make the farmer more money, whether it's on the legislation side or on the developing things, you're only as strong as your membership, and we've done a good job with getting membership and promoting what we do.
Scott, we talk about the Soybean Council, we talk about the Soybean Association. There's a difference. Tell us what that is.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. There is a difference in it. So on the council side, that's where your checkoff money goes to from when you sell your soybeans, and that's used to promote new products, education, research is what that's used for. And then on the association side is actually what you pay your membership for, and that's the legislative side, the policy side, where we're doing stuff at the state, locally, and then also nationally as well on it.
Well, that's vital for that farmer, because you need a little bit of putting numbers together to make some of the politicians listen to you from time to time.
Yeah, you have to be able to present what you're talking about to the politicians, so they understand how it will hurt or help the farmer locally or nationally, depending on what circumstance you're talking about.
And I think some of these member organizations, like the Ohio Soybean Association, combining with other farm organizations like them, their sister organizations, so to speak, that even increases the numbers more and makes your input when you're talking to the people that make those legislative changes even more important.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. If everybody can come together, we do a lot of work with the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association, Farm Bureau, High State University. Anytime you can come together as one unit and present yourself, everybody can see that you have one common goal, and you don't have a bunch of different. Everybody can have different ideas, but if you can see the big picture, that sure does help when you're going talking to your members of Congress or your state reps or whoever you're talking to about it. And
we've seen that with the Water Quality Initiative that most every organization, universities, Ohio Agriculture Department, and everyone just working together.
Yeah, that was a big key in getting done with what we've got accomplished so far, getting everybody at the table. So everybody had the voice to hear at the table, and everybody, we could show that we were going for one common goal.
Scott Metzger has been our guest. Thanks, Scott, for being with us.
Thank you.
I'm Terry McClure, a fifth-generation soybean farmer. Farming can be tough, but we have the Ohio Soybean Council investing farmers' dollars to find new uses for soybeans. Soybeans are Ohio's #1 agricultural export. To learn more, visit soyohio.org.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
They say good news spreads fast, and for a Meyer manure spreader, it spreads even too. Spread fast, even, and accurate with a new Meyer manure spreader from your local Apple Farm Service. Experience the famous and unique rear discharge system on the VMAX series, the V4 series, the Industrial SXI series, the Crop Max series, the Poultry Litter Spreaders, and the Truck Mount Spreaders. Spread the good news. Ask your local Apple Farm Service to learn more.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, as always, you can check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. We have a Facebook account. We also have a YouTube channel and more. And as I mentioned, check us out on inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.